Greetings, Game Master Player here with with a new Game Master vlog. Now, I'm going to be participating in the Iron GM here at GenCon in a couple of weeks. And I've got a few ideas I got to start kicking around, and I want people to, maybe give me some input, or at least I can talk them out and figure them out and work them out, like I did with my previous ones. Because I want to have, my ideas kind of flow, so I usually need to bounce them off of people, and I'm going to bounce them off of you. So hopefully you don't mind. I was thinking about doing, you get kind of a 6-hour slot to run the best game ever. So, and it has to be the best game ever. And there's breaks in between and things like that as well, and I got an hour to prep. I'm going to prep ahead of time. I'm not an idiot. I'm going to prep ahead of time. I'm going to have a lot of things ready to go. And one of the things I've contemplated is even having characters created. Mostly because I kind of like the idea of having people, having that eliminated. Because when I was playing Iron GM, playing as a player, it was rough trying to get a character generated, spec'd out, ready to go. Some people had characters ready, some people had stuff done, and so it made it really complicated to try to sit down and because they're not knowing what was going on, so you had to put something together. And I kind of want to avoid that this time. I kind of want people to talk amongst themselves and have some dialogue amongst themselves and work things out amongst themselves. That's really the concept I'm going for. So they can maybe make some changes to their characters or things like that. Possibly, I'm not sure yet. But I have to get them ready for a couple of systems. So that's why, again, it's a lot of work. Well, it might be a lot of work. Now, I've got 2 game ideas that have been kicking around my head right now. One is, and this is just basic groundwork stuff. One is the fact that I want to have, if I'm going to do pre-gen characters, I have to make it worth their while for me to do pre-gen characters. And worth my while as well. Because again, being a game master, you have to have a symbiotic relationship with your players. You're going to have fun, they're going to have fun, everyone's going to have fun. So, you got to put effort forth, and they have to put effort forth. So, their effort forth is going to be showing up at the table and having a good time and helping me tell the story. That's the whole idea. They have to help me tell the story. I'm going to do my best to not railroad a darn thing in that. I'm going to have them just basically have as much control over the story as they want, as well as myself having as much control over the story as I want. So, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility. It's going to be a pain in the butt. I know this already. So, but because I want to pre-gen characters and have them all pre-generated characters have to be ready, that way there's no prep time, there's no extra. My thought I'm thinking about having a story where it takes place where time passes. So players start at a lower level with the same characters, they level up, like here's the next sheet, this part of the story, and then here's the last sheet for the last part of the story. Something like that. I was also thinking about doing, and this makes it really interesting as well, thinking about doing where something happens and it has a drastic effect on the characters, which changes them. Therefore, they switch to a different character sheet. So, and I was trying to figure out what kind of, I was going to keep it in 3s, try to keep it simple in 3s. So, 3 characters, and 3 character sheets, basically per character, and I was going to have maybe something where it can affect the magic of the world, and players that had magic have less magic, or it affects the science of the world, and players that have advanced armor and weapons, their weapons, are lesser. They go from like a steel shield to a bronze shield because now they're back in the Bronze Age. There is no steel. It's not as good. Weapons and equipment not as good. But working on things like that, I was going to be kicking around a few ideas that are very similar to where I can just hand out character sheets and in a nice order, and I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to actually have something where I can hand out character sheets, and it'll be character A, character B, character B, and it'll be start, and then, the other characters appropriately. That's what I was thinking about. Also, items, like if they have any special items in the game, I'm going to have printouts and, sheets for them too, because I'm trying to assemble the best game. This is supposed to be the best game they've ever played. That's the whole idea of Iron Gem. It's like Iron Chef. It's supposed to be the best dish you ever have. So I get 3 ingredients to make the best game ever, and then I gotta dazzle these people I've never met before. And I think the only way I'm gonna be able to do it is to come ultra prepared. So handouts for everybody, the whole shebang, all of it, just all of it. So I'm thinking about that. I'm really thinking about doing it that way, and I think that'll be best for me as well. Now, I'm a little bit rusty on the game systems. That's what stinks, is that I'm not up to speed on the game systems as much because I haven't played them, and I haven't run them in a long time. Well, one of them in a long time, which is the core, D20. I haven't run that in a long time. So I'm a little bit worried about that. I'll be honest. It has me a little bit concerned. I'll have a cheat sheet with me. I'll be digital. I'm not going to be analog. I'll be digital, which means I'll have a tablet. It'll have all my data I need. My tablet will be fully charged. The whole shebang. I'll have everything ready for myself to be able to do this. So I don't want to necessarily rely on my phone for it. I'm going to try to rely on my tablet to have everything, and it's going to be rough. I'll be honest, it's going to be rough. So I have a feeling I can make it. I can make it work, though. Again, I can make it work. I can throw some things together quickly and take it from there. So, rough. But so far, my ideas that I have, like I said, is I wanted to have the players be able to shift through characters, which I think will make the story a little more interesting, and will focus more on the storytelling and the player reactions and decisions, and less on I killed X monster, yay, I got X experience, yay. I'm gonna have that because if you ever get criticals, you get these necklaces that have dice on them and stuff, and it's a big to do, and it's like bonsai, and everyone's happy and waving, and it's a lot of fun, and everyone screams, and it's fantastic, because it is a big social event anyway. So I gotta have that element still in place. So I think the way I'm going to do it is with mooks. And if you're not familiar with the term mook, that means basically just, like when you watch any action movie, this is mostly where it comes from, this like Hong Kong action movies and things like that. The guys that just get, punched and they fall down. That's it. They're done. So I think I'm going to have a lot of mooks. So people that are going to, creatures, monsters, whatever it might be, just killed 1-2 hits. That's it. Done. And move on. 1-2 hit. Done. Move on. And it's going to main players, and I'll have a boss. Don't get me wrong, there'll be some sort of boss. I'll have something like that. So they have a main villain, a main target, a main something to take out at the very end. So, but in the meantime, though, I got to find out. Things have to happen. Players have to make decisions, and things change. So, and see where it goes from there. If the players don't make a decision, things change. Things change for the worse. So, and that's something I gotta work on. Again, it's something I'm working on. I don't know. It's gonna be rough. Whew. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, it's gonna be rough because I want to make it a bit seamless, and I want everybody to have fun. That's a big thing. I want everybody to have fun. I don't want it to be that logistical. And a lot of it's gonna be made like that hour prep is gonna be basically based on the 3 ingredients that I have. I'm gonna have an overstory already prepared. And and the thing is, I might not even use it. I might have a brilliant idea to right out of the gate with this other stuff. So I don't know. I'm really nervous about it because I don't know. I don't know how I want to do this. I don't know how I want to do it. So, like I said, it'll be rough. It'll be very, very difficult. So maybe I'll do some pre-gen characters and have some modification room. People can, kind of pick and choose their equipment a little bit, pick and choose some of their skills, things like that. But just throw down some, things right away. And I don't want to make the players too powerful. I don't want to make the players too weak. I want to have them to where they can do just enough to keep the game flowing well. But if they're too powerful, then they walk over everything anyway, like effortlessly. And I want them to struggle a little, not a lot. And I want them to, I want them to fight for it. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I don't know how I want to do this yet. But right now, I want to have it to where I'm ultra prepared. Because I was thinking about I can pull it out. I do well pulling games out of my butt. advantage for me is I can do that with people that I know. I know I can do it with people that I know because I can anticipate my players. I can anticipate some of the things that they do. I can anticipate some of the reactions that they have. I can anticipate some of the choices that they make. The more you play with certain people, you get to learn about them, and then you get to develop your stories with them, about them, and without them having any direct input, it still feels like they had a major impact on the story in its creation, not just playing it, but in its creation, because I know how my players are going to be. Now, I am way out of practice. I'll be honest. I'm way out of practice. I've been running a piecemeal game sporadically, based on, and you guys, everyone hopefully watching has seen my vlogs, my DM vlogs, and I've been building that up, and now I'm on that point of the game where I have to focus more on the players and their interactions and their stories, and it's a lot more work, it's a lot harder, and that's what I'm working on right now. So I've got that as well. So, but anyway, that's where my struggles are currently. So I really think it'd be a good idea to have characters pre-generated and then shoehorn, I don't know if shoehorn's the right word, manipulate maybe the characters in the story to fit the ingredients that are going to be provided from the Iron Gem. Like I'll give an example. They're going to have they're going to have 3 words. They're going to use like lightning, purple, and chicken. You have to make the best game ever. The players have to play the best game ever, but it's got to have purple, lightning, and chicken, one way or the other. So, and that makes it very, very difficult in some ways, because you might like, well, I don't know what I'm going to put in the chicken, or I don't know what I'm going to put in purple. So, but again, it can be one of those things like I kind of planned on something else and I want to do something else, but now I got to fit in these 3 things and I'll have to make some changes, and that's what I'm going to do for the hour before I actually run the game. So, is shoehorning those 3 ingredients in, which I don't think I'll have a problem with that. That'll be easy. I have a feeling that'll be the easiest part of the whole task. So I'm not concerned about that. I am concerned about, again, trying to do something to make the players right out of the gate just be surprised and anxious and happy and all that stuff. And I really, really, really want to play or run a game that, again, will just dazzle enough, and they're going to walk home with something. And that's the reason I want to do multiple characters, because most of the time when you play with a group like that, you've got at least 2 or 3 people that are together anyway, so they play stuff together anyway, and it would be really awesome for them to go back and say, hey, look, we got this great game idea from what we got from Iron GM, and that's one of the things that I want to do, is I want people to talk about it. I want people to go back and talk about it. I want people to discuss things, and at the same time, I might try to print out some business cards or something so people can get in touch with me, and they can ask questions, they can follow up, whatever it might be. But also, at the same time, now here's the fun thing, is that at the end of the whole Iron GM game and process, I want them to come back and watch these videos and how I've helped put it together. So hopefully my players are watching, and I thank you for watching if you are watching, because I think it'll be an interesting task for you to learn about how this all came to be. So I'm gonna work on it, and hopefully it's gonna be a fantastic experience. And I'm probably gonna do a vlog at the end as well, thanking my players and everything. We might even do it at the table. That might be fantastic at the table as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping to do some recording on it as well, and success. So, but anyway, thank you everyone for watching this video, and thank you for my players that are part of the Iron GM process that are also watching this video. Hopefully after the Iron GM session, not before. If you watched it before, hey, you found me beforehand. That is awesome, and I would love to meet you at my table, because you'll know a lot more about me than I'll know about you. So thank you everyone, and I will see you in the next video.